Today we're diving deep into a maybe controversial topic, and that is third person in Ark Raiders. But first off, I'd like to thank War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. Clear from just looking on YouTube, the Ark Raiders' recent playtest was a stunning success. I'm sure even the devs themselves were taken aback by the reception of their first public playtest. There's one topic that I think will continue to drive debate and potential criticism of the game, and that is the choice to use third person in a gaming landscape saturated almost to bursting with incredible first-person shooters, particularly in the rapidly growing extraction genre. Ark Raiders is taking a different path, and while some might initially question it, sticking to that third-person view is, in my opinion, one of its smartest plays. So let's break down just why that is. Cast your eyes across the extraction shooter genre right now. What do you see? A lot of solid games. You also see a very clear trend. The vast majority, the dominant players in the space, if you will, are all built around a first-person perspective. Games that offer incredible tension, visceral gunplay, and a high-stakes experience seen directly through the eyes of your operator. Again, this isn't criticism of those games. The first-person perspective offers undeniable strengths, that intense feeling of being in the moment, the ability to show off your skill with precision aim, and a focus that puts you squarely in the action. But when nearly every major game in a genre shares that foundational design choice, you face a significant challenge. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you grab attention and offer something genuinely new when, from the player's immediate viewpoint, the core experience might feel fundamentally similar to a half dozen other titles out there? Another FPS extraction game, no matter how polished or feature-rich, risks blending into the background, making it harder for players to see what makes it truly unique. This is precisely where Ark Raiders' commitment to third-person perspective shines. Based on the core strengths of third-person shooters, the advantages for an extraction shooter setting are significant. Firstly, let's talk about situational awareness. This is perhaps the most cited advantage of third-person shooters anyways. You can see around your character, get a much better sense of your immediate surroundings, check your flanks with just a slight camera adjustment without fully exposing yourself. In an extraction game where danger can come from anywhere, and knowing what's happening around you is crucial for survival and successful exfiltration. That extra field of view is incredibly valuable. This also dramatically changes how cover works. Being able to peek over or around obstacles without your character model being visible to the enemy is a core mechanic in many successful third-person games. It adds a different layer of tactical play compared to the often more direct peeking nature of first-person cover. Plus, seeing your character move and interact with the environment just feels different. Actions like climbing, vaulting, or even sprinting can feel more grounded when you see your character performing them. It can also make spatial understanding a bit more intuitive, which is particularly important when you're uniquely worried about enemies flying around in the sky above you. Now, before we dive deeper into how third-person shooters handle the specific threats in Ark Raiders, I want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and is available now for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. You can take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from the early 20th century all the way to the modern battle tanks and fighter jets of today. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects place you right at the helm of these powerful war machines. And if you love the AI damage system in Ark Raiders like me, you'll love War Thunder's sophisticated vehicle damage model, which intricately models components and realistic shell behavior. Join a worldwide community of over 70 million players in epic PvP battles today. With an unmatched wealth of high-quality content, there's simply no better game suited for fans of military history. And best of all, you can now play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile. Just make sure you use my links in the video description or pinned comment to sign up. If you make a new account or haven't played in the past 6 months on PC or console, you'll receive a massive bonus pack with lots of goodies to give you a head start in the game. This includes the exclusive Vehicle Decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. The offer is available for a limited time only, so don't forget to claim it now using those links below. Okay, back to Ark Raiders and how that third-person perspective is specifically tailored for the challenges this game presents. We talked about situational awareness generally, but let's consider Ark Raiders' enemies, the Ark themselves. These threats are varied and don't just come on the ground, but a large number of them are flying, such as everyone's nemesis, the Rocketeer. This means that attacks can come from above, the sides, and you need to be watching all angles as much as possible. In a typical FPS, spotting these airborne threats and keeping track of them while also watching the ground for enemy players could be a constant, sometimes overwhelming head-swiveling exercise. You're often forced to choose between watching the horizon or tilting your view drastically upwards, leaving you exposed. In third person, being able to see your character in the environment means you're also seeing more of the sky and the area around you, and above you simultaneously, without drastically changing your viewpoint. The wider, more comprehensive view makes it significantly easier to spot incoming enemies, particularly those from the air. Also, in moments when you're trying to actively avoid the AI, using third person massively helps you manage your movements to avoid their detection. It fundamentally changes the flow of combat, making threat assessment a more panoramic, less frantic exercise. You're better equipped to prioritize and react to dangers, regardless of where they originate. This enhanced awareness ties directly into how you approach tactical engagements, particularly concerning cover and initiating fights with other players. In third person, the concept of peeking around corners with your camera without exposing your character model becomes a core tactical information gathering tool. You can use the camera to safely observe an area, see if an enemy is holding an angle, observe their movement, check if they're pushing, all with minimal risk to your own health. This allows for a much more cautious and calculated approach to entering dangerous zones or engaging enemies. This is a fundamental difference from holding angles in a purely first-person shooter, using games like Escape from Tarkov as an example. In Tarkov, when you hold a tight corner or peek, you are physically committing a portion of your character model to that position. While you might have an advantage based on anticipation or crosshair placement, you are visible and vulnerable the moment you're in a position to see the enemy. The advantage often boils down to peeker's advantage, a network and animation phenomenon where the player swinging out of cover often sees the defender holding the angles slightly before the defender sees them. It's a mechanic heavily reliant on reaction time, precise crosshair placement, and exploiting tiny network delays. In Arc Raiders, the third-person peek isn't primarily about exploiting network code or winning a reaction-based duel the moment you see an enemy. It's an intentional design feature that shifts the early game advantage towards smart positioning and methodical information gathering before the direct confrontation. This means players have to be acutely aware that an enemy might be watching them without being seen, leading to different movement patterns and defensive setups. Because opponents can gather information more safely and holding basic angles is less guaranteed, simply sitting in a common spot and waiting for someone to walk into your crosshairs becomes less effective than it might be in many FPS titles. This encourages a distinctly different, often more strategic kind of offensive gameplay. Instead of primarily relying on winning head-on aim duels by having faster reflexes or better crosshair placement on a predictable corner, third-person shooter extraction gameplay often requires you to think outside the box and utilize combined tactics to initiate favorable engagements. Strongly encouraged to use the environment creatively for flanks, to utilize any available utility like grenades, smoke, or deployables to deny enemies those safe peeking positions, or force them to move or to coordinate complex, multi-pronged movements with teammates to catch enemies off guard and from unexpected angles. Positioning becomes paramount. It's not just about finding a good spot to shoot from, but how you move across the map to gain a superior angle or timing that the enemy simply cannot watch from safely. It shifts the skill emphasis. While aim is still important, success leads heavily on spatial awareness, creative use of cover and utility, intelligent pathing, and coordinated team play to manufacture opportunities rather than just winning a direct reaction test. It promotes strategic movement and deliberate pushes over pure mechanical aim duels in open lanes. This calculated risk in committing to the third-person perspective is what allows Arc Raiders to carve out its own niche in a genre where everyone else is primarily offering one viewpoint and one associated style of tactical play. Arc Raiders is speaking clearly in third person, offering a distinct tactical challenge and gameplay loop that differentiates it immediately. It avoids that pitfall of trying to be everything to everyone and potentially feeling generic as a result. By focusing on the unique strengths of third-person shooters, the awareness, the cover play, and the strategic movement, they're building on an extraction experience that is uniquely theirs. And let's be real, one of the simple but powerful joys of third-person shooters is that you actually get to see your character through the entire match. In a multiplayer game driven by progression, customization, showing off your unique look, being able to actually see your outfits and customizations and character model fighting, taking cover, celebrating a successful extract, adds a significant layer of player satisfaction and connection to your in-game self that FPS by its nature can't fully replicate. Makes your character feel like your character, your creation out there in the world. So to wrap this up, in a crowded FPS extraction genre, Arc Raiders' choice of third person might be a risk, but I think it's a well-calculated one. And just remember, maybe third person isn't for you, and if that's the case, then that is okay. I think the devs clearly have a plan, and so far they should stick to it and frankly carry on cooking. Third person offers enhanced situational awareness, crucial for dealing with multi-angle PvE threats like flying enemies, changes the tactical dynamic for reaction-based aim duels to strategic information gathering and positioning, encourages more creative offensive plays using flanks and utility, and gives the game a unique identity while letting us appreciate our characters in action. For all these reasons, I truly believe third person is the best fit for this game and absolutely key to its potential success in standing out. But what do you think? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more discussions. And one last thing before you go, don't forget to check out War Thunder for free. Use the links in the description or pinned comment to sign up, and new or returning players on PC and consoles can grab that awesome bonus pack, including the exclusive Vehicle Decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. It's a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.